Here is a weighted pancake stretch. First, you're going to introduce yourself to the pancake position. Personally, some hip elevation really helps me to get my back flat, which we want to maintain as much as possible. When we go into the stretch, the back will round, and you'll focus on the stretch in the adductors. But before we just jump into a pancake stretch without having done the proper feeling of a pancake, establish that first just so you know where this is progressing to. Then once you can feel spine like nice and tall, and you could maybe even get a little bit of motion and still keep your back flat, okay, then you know you're in the right position. If you can't do that with your hips on the floor, then elevate your hips like this. You can go even as high as sitting on the edge of a bench with the knees or the legs out just like this. Okay, that out of the way, you're going to take your plate and you're going to first use it to feel some stretch. So you could do weighted like this. Take some deep breaths and just sink. You can let your upper body round. You can bounce like this, little gentle bounces. And then every once in a while, squeeze your hip flexors. So flex this stuff and think about pulling into a couple of bounces. Okay? Then you might let this just glue your hands to the floor. You might take some more breaths. You might point your toes. So these are just all options that you can do. Then you might take your plate, put it up on your back. I'm almost supporting it with the back of my head right now. And then we're going to just making sure this mic can pick me up. We're going to reach in a position. And over time, I know right now my back is surely very rounded, but over time I'm looking to lift my tailbone to the ceiling, squeeze my hip flexors a bit. And this weight is not just, pressing me into the floor and I'm just hanging out and like waiting. I'm doing a little bit of work here and then resting in between. So once I open up some space, okay, then I can take some breaths. Then maybe I squeeze a bit more, squeezing my hip flexors. Maybe I push into the floor a bit and then try to reach a little bit further. And that pushing and contracting will help you to open up the position, as will the weight on the back. This one is light. It's just 15 pounds. You could use this, a backpack. You could use a light kettlebell. You get the idea. That is the weighted pancake stretch.